This week on the Erotic Awakening Podcast, episode 760, Kink Community, is it real? And have I outgrown it? Welcome to Erotic Awakening, an exploration of all things erotic. If you are offended by adult topics or prohibited by law, I recommend you stop listening right now. First, a heartfelt thanks to the amazing patrons of Erotic Awakening, each and every one of you. Your support literally keeps this podcast, the longest running kink podcast, thriving. This week, a special welcome to our newest supporters, Ella, Tarsha, M. Dizzy, and Lisa K. I'm so glad you're here, and thanks for your support. If you are not already a supporting patron of the show, I invite you to join the current supporters so it can continue. Just visit patreon.com/erotic awakening and sign up for as little as $2 a month. Hi, everyone. I'm Dawn, and I'm here this week to continue the conversations on power exchange, polyamory, sacred sexuality, and everything in between. So every now and then I get asked, because I use the language of the kink community, the leather community, the power exchange community, the polyamory community, the sacred sexuality community. And people will ask me, is it really a community? Is it really a community? And I guess if you are coming in and you probably won't be listening to this podcast, or maybe you are. But if you come in and you are the type of person that buys your ticket for a party, goes to the party, plays, goes home, and then forgets about kink and everything else, I could see why you would ask the question. Because you're just coming in to get your play on, right? You're just coming in to experience a few things. Whereas there's some of us that we go to munches, we go to education, we go to online Zooms, we listen to podcasts, we read books, we interact with people. And those of us that do that, I'm going to say, I guess regardless of that, I'm going to say that yes, the kink community, the poly community, all of those communities are very real. Each of them have their own subculture, and I try to teach this a lot. When you come in new to kink, leather, whatever, it's its own subculture. It's got its own language. It's got its own expectations. It's got its own unwritten rules and things like that. It's its own thing. There's even subcultures of the subcultures, right? You've got your littles communities, your pup communities, your rope communities. All of those fall under kink community. And many of us put a lot of energy into these communities, right? There's latex communities. I'm trying to think of all the different subcultures of the subculture, but a lot of stuff going on. Cigar communities, boot blacking communities, title holder communities. So there's a lot of smaller communities in the bigger community. I mean, these communities, they provide social support, education, safe spaces. So yes, I absolutely believe that there is a kink community. And like I said, not everybody does. Not everybody thinks it's a community because they have different expectations of what a community is for some. And like I said, others, they just don't see it because that's not their interaction that's going on. So my sister, and I've said this on here before, my sister was like, oh, well, now that you and Dan have broken up, you can find different hobbies. And I'm like, oh, this is not a hobby. This is my community. Now, for some people, it could be a hobby. I mean, hobbies have communities, right? So there are crocheting communities and knitting communities and toll painting communities and, things like that. Mine happens to be kink. And it is my community. This is where I feel at home. I put a lot of energy into this community. Now, I was doing a little bit of quote research, and I found something that Race Bannon, who is a leather elder, I found something that he wrote, and then he mentioned Midori. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of Midori, unless you're really new. If you've not heard of her, you could look her up. She's got a lot of stuff out there. And Midori and Race Bannon both mention that they don't see it as a kink community, singular, but as kink communities. Now, this is kind of true in that each region, each location has their own community. There's a Columbus community, there's a DC community, St. Louis, San Diego. I mean, all the big cities have community. In Ohio, I mean, there's the Columbus community, the Cincinnati community, the Cleveland community, the Toledo. I mean, right, I can list all the big cities. But then there's also like the Ohio community. The event I'm going to next, Tryst, has a lot of Ohio community. Well, then we're at the border. So there's Kentucky and Indiana and West Virginia and Pennsylvania. A lot of these people that go to the same events in the same areas, they consider themselves community, not just Pittsburgh community versus Columbus community, right? We see ourselves as Midwest. So there's layers of community. Now, I'm more national. Hmm, is that true? Yes, I'd like to think that's true. I am more part of the national community, but also Midwest. Also Columbus. I am parts of communities within the bigger community. Now, I consider myself national, and I could be an oddball. Okay, I am an oddball, but I mean in this way. But I go to, as a presenter, and you don't have to be a presenter to do this, but as a presenter, I go to a lot of events around the country. Because of that, I see all kinds of people, and I have made friends in a lot of different regions, which is actually making it kind of hard for me to find a place to settle down. Because one of my requirements, which is hard to explain to family, is that I need community. Well, kink is my thing, so I need to be around kink community. Where I'm at right now, there isn't much community. The munch that I went to in my hometown, I only found one person that was actually living in my hometown. It is very conservative here. It's very conservative in this whole region. So the people that showed up to the munch were like from an hour or an hour and a half away because they don't want to go to a munch in their location. Yeah, there's not much community around here at all. And honestly, I'm going a little mm. All the words I was getting ready to use for this, someone might find offense to. But I'm having a hard time in this region. Like I said, the one munch, though it was kind of cool when I walked into that munch, that hometown munch that I'd never been to before. There was someone that recognized me as soon as I walked in, not anybody that I had met in person. I was afraid of meeting like people I graduated high school with. I went to school with the same group of people from kindergarten through graduation, so I would recognize them. They would recognize me. But anyway, that's not who I got recognized by. I got recognized by someone that's taken my online classes. I walked in and they're like, oh. And I'm like, oh, because that can be dangerous. And they let me know that they had been on my Zoom calls. So that was really cool. Hopefully, I put their name on here later. I have two names in my head, and I'm not sure which one I'm allowed to use, but that was really cool to be recognized. But again, that is why I consider myself part of the national Kink Community. But I'm reminded I'm here for 2 more weeks, and I've been to that one munch. There's a poly gathering tonight, and someone I met at Primal Arts Fest is supposed to be there. I'm going to reach out to them today to make sure they're still going, and I'll go to that. But otherwise, there's nothing going on. I'm listening to my friends that are in Madison and Chicago and Indianapolis, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to a munch tonight, and I got a choice of two tomorrow night, and then there's a party Friday night and Saturday night, and then a house party Sunday afternoon." And I'm like, I need to get back to community. I need to get back to where things are happening that I can do this with people. I can talk about kink. I can show off bruises if I had bruises, all of that accepting places. I need that in my life. That is actually, as I've driven around and I've interacted with people and places and stuff, I have come to realize just how important that is to me to be able to interact with people, to teach people. And that's going to flow right into the next topic in just a little bit. But I need the munches. I need to meet new people. I need to have opportunities to meet new people and to play and play with new people and play with people I've played with before. I need play parties. I need all of this stuff. This is my community. Now, I, with that being said, yes, I can put it in a nutshell. Yes, there is kink community. You may have expectations that the kink community doesn't live up to, but it's there. And like any big group, there's going to be group dynamics. So you're going to have people you like, you're going to have people you don't like. You are going to have it is different personalities, big personalities, contentious personalities, right? It's group dynamics that is going to happen, but it is absolutely community for me. Now, here it is. I believe that. And then I had a moment. I've had this moment a couple of times over the last few years as I've gotten older, but a few times on my older women's group that I run every month, I have brought up the idea of, hey, do I even belong here anymore? Do I belong in this community anymore? Have I outgrown the community? Whatever that means. Do I have anything to offer? I mean, I just went to Primal Arts Fest and I felt old. My birthday was a couple of days ago. I turned 59. 58 wasn't so bad. 59, that's a little rough. And it could just be because of all the changes that have happened in the last year. But I was feeling a little rough. And so I go to Primal Arts. I am not running in the hunt. I am tenting. I am sleeping in a tent that I have to roll in and out of. And my body is like, what the hell are you doing? We outgrew this a long time ago. You remember that RV you were living in? And now we're on a tent on the ground? Yeah, my body. Anyway, I'm getting ready to do it again in 2 weeks. And then again next month. So we will punish the body. Nah, I got used to it. But anyway, I'm around all these. The older you get, the more young people there are. That is just the way this works, right? And I'm seeing all the young people, all the ones that are excited about the hunt, and they're going to be running and hiking through the woods and doing all this stuff. And when I got there, I was like, whoa, do I even fit here anymore? And I talked to some of my girlfriends on my Marco Polo. Okay, my kids say I'm an old lady for using Marco Polo, but whatever. It fits my communication style. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, I'm there and I'm talking to them and I'm like, I don't know that I fit in here. I don't know that I belong anymore. This is a young kid's game. This is, yeah, I'm just feeling old and out of place. Now, that was the first night. That had nothing to do with the event. That was pure Dawn in Dawn headspace. the event made everybody feel welcome. And once I got my ass down there and mingled with people, the first night I did go to the mixer and I didn't know anybody. I knew I was not going to know anybody there. And yet somebody walked out of their little circle of people and came over and said hi to me. And it was Dark, who was a podcast listener. And then he flashed me his tentacle underwear. So all of a sudden, I feel like part of the group. So he and I talked for a while. And then I saw Goddamn It Adam, who I do know from the Central Ohio community. And I went over and talked to him. He introduced me to his girl. He knew people. Another presenter came up, saw my name, and said, Hey, I've been listening to the podcast forever. And then someone else came up and said, Oh my God, I have all your books. And then someone else came up and said, I've been on your Zoom classes. And I realized that they were making me feel welcome. And I was absolutely part of the community and continue to be part of the community. So what I brought back to my older women was, yes, sometimes we feel invisible. Yes, sometimes we feel like we don't belong anymore. And if we're going to stay in the community, we have to get beyond that. Here I am, a presenter, a podcaster, things like that. And even I feel like I've aged out sometimes. But I don't know why I feel like that because this is my community. This is where I thrive. This is where I grow as a person. And damn it, I do have something to offer. And when I tell people I don't feel like I have anything to offer anymore, they look at me. You should see the looks on their faces. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I taught a class Saturday morning at Primal Arts. And I had almost 30 people in my 10 a.m. class on Saturday morning. And afterwards, the younger people were coming up to me going, you know what? I had not thought of primal energy like that before. Thank you. And I'm like, oh, my old self with my ideas. I do have things to pass down to the younger generations. Maybe beneficial for some, not necessarily all. By the second day of the event, I was like, oh my God, yes, I don't know too many people here, but this is my world. Now, I've got Tryst coming up, Twisted Tryst in Southern Ohio. And I looked at the RSVP list. I'm actually going to go there right now. So the RSVP list, let me make this screen bigger because my eyes are old. Events and Twisted Tryst 2026. Oh, that's lovely. I love that number. 69 friends. 69 friends going. And let's see, Columbus, 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 West Virginia, Ohio, 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 Indianapolis. Oh, wait, that's the person I'm bringing with me. Illinois, Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana. So lots of Midwest, lots of Ohio, Michigan. Yes. And these are just on my friends list. Oh, someone from California. Oh, hey, I know you. I've been in touch with you recently. All right. So many people to talk to. I think I'm going to end up having like a gathering at my tent because I'm not going to have enough time to talk to everybody individually. How cool is that? Yes, it's community. Yes, I belong. Yes, I have things to offer. No, I've not outgrown it. And as a matter of fact, there is going to be someone at the event at Tryst. Oh my gosh, let me go look at his name. I have to go look at the RSVPs again. He is 78 years old, and I've known him for a while, and we are going to sit down and talk. He calls me Reverend because he met me first as clergy, so that's kind of cool. And yes, I'm going to have a lot of conversations with people. I am going to feel like I'm home. And that's what community is to me, that feeling of I belong. That's going to be so much fun. And I plan to be here for a long time. This is where I fit in. All right, you guys have heard me ramble. Sorry it was not a. Wait, I'm not supposed to say sorry. I'm supposed to say thank you for listening. I will be back to interviews coming up soon, but I wanted to process that a little bit. I was really, really sad when I got to the event, and it would have been any event. So don't think it was Primal Arts. That just happened to be where I was at when this moment happened. And again, things are shifting for me. So it's normal for me to be processing stuff like this as my life is changing. So where will I be coming up? Here I am wondering if I belong in the community, but I've got some stuff coming up. I'm going to be, yay, I'm so looking forward to this. I'm going to be at Twisted Tryst in Ohio, June 11 through 14, where I will be presenting. I am checking out an event in South Dakota. It's also a camping event in July, and I get to see the boyfriend because he's going to be up there. I will be going to Seek, a submissive retreat in Wisconsin, October 8th through 11. Satyricon, I will be vending with them November 14th, and I will be at the Kick Holiday Bazaar in Chicago, November 21st. So, still a few things up in the air, still a few things I'm working out. I've also applied for 5 other events coming up and just all the things. And I will also be scheduling, I'm in the process of scheduling some intensives for when I'm in the Indy, Chicago, Madison, Milwaukee area in a couple of months. So I will have more information about that coming out. Keep up with all the places I'm presenting or vending, my online classes and intensive, book news, discounts, and more via the Erotic Awakening newsletter. When you sign up, get your EA shout out. Head over to eroticawakening.com and subscribe to the newsletter today. Anyway, like I was saying, there's different sub-communities of the kink community, and one of those is the littles community. Now, I have been informed that there's going to be a gathering coming up soon in Perryville, Maryland. And they were hoping that I could put the call out to let people know this was happening. And the reason I'm doing this is because I've been in other communities where the littles are asking me, where is the littles community? And I'm like, what do you mean, where's the littles community? They're everywhere, because everywhere I go, there's littles. And in Albuquerque, they're like, no, we don't have that here. And I'm like, well, you can create it, right? If you don't have it, create it. But there's also some events going on that you might be interested in. This is one of those events. So it is called it's spelled donut, but I'm sure it means do not. Do not grow up. So donut, grow up, howl and splash. And it is a custom event for age players by age players. So this is going to be in Perryville, Maryland. And it is a water park, from what I understand. So get ready to meet your new besties. This is a low-key, intimate social retreat where little scouts, adult babies, littles, middles, and bigs can splash, play, and make memories together. This is purely for social fun and isn't a traditional lifestyle event. That means no dedicated play spaces or classes. But don't worry, they'll have a few handpicked vendors on hand with the best age play goodies. So this is from November 29th through December 3rd. And like I said, it is a water park. Your registration includes an adventure pass with unlimited access to bowling, mini golf, a rope course, a mirror maze. There's unlimited soda refills, an arcade, a nightly dance party. There's so much going on with this. So I wanted to get it out there for those of you guys that cannot find Littles communities or just want to try something new or meet new friends. So this is the Donut Grow Up, Howl and Splash, Perryville, Maryland, November 29th through December 3rd. I'll have the link for the event in the show notes. Fantastic. Thanks for joining me tonight as I rambled. Wait, we don't call it rambling anymore in my group. We call it externally processing. So if you have some ideas about community, there are so many ways to contact me. I can be found at Dawn_Awakening or Erotic_Awakening on FetLife, Erotic Awakening on Instagram, EA Podcast Dawn on TikTok, or just email me at dawn@eroticawakening.com. And be a part of the Erotic Awakening podcast community. You can become a patron of the show and get early access to the podcast, a free copy of the audiobook Polyamory Toolkit, free ebooks, discounts on monthly Zoom classes, member-only Discord, Not Safe for Work channel, and more. Find all the goodies at patreon.com/erotic awakening today. And help others find the show and the community. Give us high ratings wherever you listen to the podcast, and most importantly, tell your friends about the show. And join the conversation with other listeners. Use the links from the Erotic Awakening website for our interactive Discord channel, open to all listeners. Until next time, may your journey be filled with passion, joy, and a bit of naughtiness. Bye, everyone.